Alright, was good. I wanted to talk about Canada in the Fiba World Cup here because they're looking pretty dangerous. They looked elite through their first two games against Latvia and France, like absolutely smoked them as well as Lebanon. But like, let's be real, no one thought Lebanon would be good in this tournament. But France were supposed to be like one of the favorites, and they beat them by almost 50. So you know, they looked pretty damn good. They did look a bit shaky against Spain there, needing to kind of pull through in the fourth quarter, but I think a game like that's good for a team to go through just to see that adversity and see them not crumble. I think that was still good to see. And obviously the loss to Brazil showed a lot, but like they were so off from three in that game, and that's what's gonna happen when you've got guys like RJ who's a streaky shooter. Dylan Brooks isn't great from three. Kelly Olynyk has his moments. Lou Dort again not very good from three. Dwight Powell, yeah, he's not going to score from three. And then Shea, even though he's an elite offensive player, he's not exactly known for his three. He hits like two a game in the NBA, even though he scores 30 a game. He's scoring most of his points in the paint or in the mid range. But speaking about this like Canadian team's construction, although yeah, they are awful from three, and that's obviously like a huge issue for them as seen in the Brazil game. I think they can still make a lot of noise. Their main weaknesses are shooting threes and just their half court offense in general. It's a bit stagnant at times, which isn't ideal, but when you've got a guy like Shea who can kind of score at will, it's not the biggest issue in my opinion. And on defense, they've got great defensive players in RJ, Dylan Brooks, Lou Dort, and even Dwight Powell is kind of an underrated defensive center in my opinion. Yeah, he's not a big rim protector, but he's got that like hustle defense that you really like to see in a guy. And then even guys like Nikhil Alexander Walker, he's not amazing defensively, but he can hold his own. Kelly Olynyk holds his own. Shea, yeah, he's not great defensively, but they've got enough good guys around him to make the defense work. The only thing that I'd be really worried about defensively is coming up against an elite center, but there's no real elite centers left in this tournament. Like their game against Slovenia, obviously their main guy Luka Doncic, he's gonna cook, but like they've got enough perimeter defense between Dylan Brooks and Lou Dort and even RJ in my opinion that they should be fine against Luka. Yeah, Luka's still gonna get his. He'll probably get 25, 30 points in the game. You're not going to completely shut him down, but I think Shea will be able to score enough on the other end to almost counteract what Luka does. And the rest of Team Canada is so much better than the rest of Luka's team that I think they should win that game quite comfortably. And they haven't been great defensively, Slovenia, so Shea should be able to get at least 30 points in that game and potentially even more if they aren't able to adjust to him. And if Canada is hitting their threes, yeah, it's finished. And then after that, the games they've got left, the only really big opposition left in the tournament after that would be the US. And the way the US matches up against Canada, I think actually isn't the worst for Team Canada. The US still doesn't really have an elite offensive big. Like they've got Jaren, they've got Paolo. Cool, Paolo doesn't play all that much. He's not their main guy like he is in Orlando. And although Jaren is like the defense player of the year and he's obviously an elite NBA player, he's not going out there and dropping 50 a game or nothing like that. Like if he gets more than 10 points on Team USA, it's a big night from him. So I think that Canada does match up well even against the US if they both do make it to the finals. And Ant obviously has been having a great tournament, but guys like Dylan Brooks, RJ, and Lou Dort, they'll be able to slow him down more than I think anyone on Team USA will be able to slow down Shea. Their only guy who really defends the perimeter like that is Ant, and I don't think they want him guarding Shea all game, expending all that energy defensively when they need so much from him on the offensive end of the ball. So I think Team Canada could be a dark horse to go all the way. And I think although people have kind of seen that they aren't as perfect as they looked in that first round after playing Spain and Brazil, I think that those games were learning experiences for them. And I do believe that they could match pretty much anyone in this tournament, including the US if they both do make it to the finals. And I think both those teams matching up in the finals is a great thing for the World Cup. The two teams with the most NBA talent with two up and coming NBA players and Ant and Shea, who have both made All-Star games. Both look like they're future superstars, and this is kind of the first step in that is seeing them as a one option on a competitive game because neither of them have really had that playoff experience. Yeah, Ant has played in the playoffs last year. It was the first round, let's be real, and Denver absolutely smoked them. He had a great playoffs series, but that game didn't really mean all that much that they did win. So this will be the first time we see both those guys as the number one option in like a big game, which I think would be pretty cool. And I do believe Canada can beat anyone left in this tournament. Obviously, the US is that biggest competition, but how they match up, I believe, is a very great matchup for Team Canada and a lot less fortunate for the US. And I don't think the US wants to see Canada in the finals there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all that shit YouTubers ask you to do. Peace.